Diane and Denmark here, rah rah rah, good morning, or should I say bonjour. I hope you're fine and well today. 3 things for you. I'm going to be looking at the week ahead, actually right through to the end of June, and I will not be doing any zone cleaning, and I'll tell you why I'm not doing that. Second thing, I am shaving my face. I thought you might be interested in that. And just for fun, as we are coming up to high school graduations here in Denmark, I'm going to be looking at Danish graduation caps, the rules, the unwritten rules, and why sometimes you will see teeth marks in the brim, what the different symbols mean. Anyway, first up, let's start with the basics. Now we're coming up for a really busy time here in Denmark. I'm sure it's probably the same where you are. It is the month of June, and I always feel like the month of June, it's a bit like the run up to Christmas. Things are starting to get crazy busy. I can name a few things in no particular order that are coming up for us. My birthday towards the end of the month, my daughter's graduation, which involves not just the day when she has her final exam and we put the cap on her head, but also the truck party. Our restrictions have been lifted here. We're finally coming out of lockdown, and I will be hosting a clothes swap. Woohoo! That is coming up. Obviously, it's the end of term for students. We're also starting the summer holidays. There are lots of celebrations going on, friends who are also leaving Denmark. So we have a lot going on, and it's at times like this that I really lean into my Flylady daily routines. And because I'm consistent with my weekly home blessing, or the kind of power hour upkeep clean, because I'm consistent with my morning routine and my evening routine, at this time of the year, so the last couple of weeks of June and also in December, that's when I can just take my foot off the speeder, and I don't need to do zone cleaning. And for all of you who are in the same position, I recommend that you do the same thing. Make sure that you keep going with your daily routines. And the daily routines, I'm not talking here about decluttering and detail cleaning. I'm just talking about looking at your outfit the night before. Perhaps you're going to a graduation party, maybe you've got a project going on, maybe you're helping out school. Look at your outfit the day before, make sure that you are feeding yourself, make sure that you're drinking your water, make sure that you're getting to bed at a decent hour. Just those kind of basic things that keep us going in these really crazy busy times. It could also be a period of stress for you at the office. Maybe you have a loved one who is ill. At these times, we just lean into our daily routines. Don't worry so much about the detail cleaning, the detail decluttering. There's a time and place for that. But that's how I approach things at this time of the year. And if you're in the position that none of that applies to you, feel free to go on with your zone work. I have free lists on my blog, dianedenmark.com. You can, I'll put a link above and below. But just stick to your basic. Every second week, every fortnight, we change the sheets. I did that this morning, so things are ticking over nicely. Right, and then on to shaving my face. Now, I'm not telling anybody to shave their face. If you're happy with your facial hair, that's fine. I'm 53 years old. I'm postmenopausal, and I noticed the last few months when I've been taking photos of myself, for thumbnails here on YouTube, or when I post my outfits in the Dressing Your Truth group that I'm in, I noticed I had started to have a lot more of that kind of peach fuzz on my cheeks and around my chin. Now I'm quite lucky. I'm very, I've got a lot of grey hair coming in. I really love my grey hair. I wish there was kind of more of it, because it looks like silver highlights, tinsel highlights. I don't have much dark hair. I know some of my friends who have much darker hair have had it coming in for years, on the top lip and maybe at the sides, and they've been using all different methods to get rid of it. Waxing, electrosis, you name it, people are doing it. I found a few articles written in Danish, about using one of these little razors that you use usually for your eyebrows. Now, I don't have a problem with my eyebrows either, because I've got very few brows left as I get older. But they were talking about using that to take off any extra facial hair they have. And I have to say, I'm really, really pleased with the results. And please don't go posting that, oh, if you start shaving, it'll come back darker. That myth was debunked years ago, okay? So don't worry about that. I tried to film me actually taking it off, and look away if you're squeamish and you don't like the sight of the hair. But a lot of hair came off, and it doesn't feel sore. You do it dry, and you just kind of go like that in little small movements. Make sure to kind of hold your skin taut and just go like that. And afterwards, I felt a wee bit tingly, but not more so than if you were using like an exfoliator on your skin. And make sure to put, you know, a good moisture cream afterwards. But I did it there, and I did it here, just around the chin. And I'm actually really pleased with the results. So anyway, I'll keep you posted on how it goes. If I come back in a couple of weeks with a great big bushy beard, we'll see. But anyway, this is what I'm trying at the moment. Perhaps you've tried it, you didn't like it, perhaps you used something else. And as I said, there is no need whatsoever to get rid of facial hair. You do what you want with it. But it was just something that was starting to bother me, especially as I use foundation and powder kind of sitting on the top. Anyway, there we are. I'll give you a weird close-up of what it looks like right now. And then let's get on to the student caps. Now this is actually my husband's student cap, and I'll go through some of the written rules. Just to start off, usually you will see student caps here in Denmark. They have them also in Sweden. It's a tradition to have the student caps, Norway, Finland. And the two main types here, you will either see them with the red or with the blue. It depends which type of high school you go to. Usually on the top you have a little thing here which, if I remember right, is called a cockard. It's a little kind of emblem thing. Now they're all different types of emblems. The main one that you'll see in Denmark is this cross here. It's actually got nothing to do with church here in Denmark. You know, church and state are linked here in Denmark. We pay church tax, so you can opt out of it. Danish Protestant Church. It's actually the Maltese cross, which is the symbol of the Order of Dannebrog, which is one of the royal orders. All different ones for different religions. And I'll link a website down below where you can see, it's basically one company that makes the caps for everybody here in the north. Also it has this little thing around the front. That can be adjusted. And then that way when it's really windy, it's not going to fly away, so you can wear it like that. But not many people do that. It looks a bit silly. There we go. And the cap should be worn kind of straight ahead, not up like that. Now my sons and daughters' caps, this is how they are delivered. I won't show you in the box because I've got personal details in there, but I can show you the cap. This is the more modern version, a bit more swanky. And at the back of the cap, it's embroidered with the name of the high school that you go to, and also the student's name or student's initials. You can choose yourself. And the gold buttons on the side of the cap, they also have some significance. On one side you'll have the year that they graduated. This is my son's 2020. And the button on the other side gives you their class number. In the centre there's a kind of gold emblem. You'll often in students' caps see a number written on that. The number that you see written in the cap is their final grade, the final exam, whatever grade they get, you know, whether they get a 7 or 10 or 12, that's the number that's written inside. And next to that, on that little gold emblem inside, you write the name of your boyfriend or girlfriend, or both, boom boom, if you have one of each. So that's what's written inside. And then of course the students write in wishes for each other. Some of the crazier things that you'll see, like on my son's cap, you can see here there are some tooth marks in the front. And the tradition behind that is that your best friends bite into the cap for good luck. And here come some of the more popular traditions. Obviously in the class you're going to have somebody with the biggest size cap or the smallest size cap, those people have to give beer to the whole class. So that's the first one. And remember, we're here in Denmark where the alcohol laws are probably different where you are. In Denmark, kids can buy beer from the age of 16 and spirits from the age of 18. But also in Denmark, kids cannot drive until the age of 18. So there we go. Inside the cap, you'll quite often see that there's little cuts made in the sweatband of the cap. If there is a triangular cut in the sweatband, that means that you have seen the sun coming up after a party, which luckily is quite good here in Denmark that the sun comes up so early, because the sun up here can be like 3:30 in the morning in the summer months, so you don't need to be partying through till 8 o'clock the next morning. If there is a square cut into the sweatband of the cap, that means that you have drank a whole case of beer over the space of 24 hours. Prepare to be shocked here. I know many of you are falling off your chairs. Also in the sweatband on the inside, people can write indecent proposals. And if you've thrown up after all that beer, you make a clip here in the brim. And one that I often see where we are is that you skinny dip, naked obviously, but wearing your cap. I've seen a lot of people doing that down at the bathing club and down at the beach where I am. And if you do that, then you draw a little wave in the sweatband of the cap. If you see people with their caps on backwards with the brim at the back, then they've been partying for 24 hours. Hats off to them, boom boom. And one of the fun traditions that we have for the students' last exam, you know, if they get the top marks in the exam, a 12 for their very last exam, that means when they go on the student trucks, you know, for the student party, they have to run from the school behind the truck to the first party stop. And that's always a fun thing to watch. And you'll see people wearing these caps in Denmark from the beginning of June when the first high schools graduate. And I've seen them wear them all the way through to the end of August, the beginning of September, and students wear them all the time. You'll see them all over town, down at the beach. They're really proud of their caps. My daughter already has her cap ready, so we can put it on her head, fingers crossed, next week. You're allowed to try on the cap, but don't wear it until the final exam, because of course that would be bad luck. And if you've put it on by mistake for too long, you can undo that, I think, by jumping over the cap 3 times. You know, crazy rules. Hope you had some fun hearing about the Danish traditions. Perhaps you have the same traditions where you are. Perhaps it's something completely different. We were lucky enough to attend my son's high school graduation over in the States. He did a year in Washington State. And there the tradition was to throw their caps in there when they were finished. So that was really moving for us to see that. Anyway, let me know if you have the same traditions where you are. Keep going with your daily routines, but you can ease off on the zone cleaning, and I'll see you a bit later in the week. All I've got left to say is live long and prosper. May the Danish hygge be with you. And off you go with that rap, rap, rap. Okay, bye for now.